About a month before my annual appraisal, I decided it's time to resign and do it kind of gracefully on my own initiative before the company lets me go. 3 months ago, I quit financial services, and I wanted to reflect today why that happened, what went wrong, and if things could have been different. I worked as a paraplanner for a private financial advisory company, and this company focused on giving advice to a specific group of professionals, which included pensions, trusts, VCTs, insurance, investments, corporate investments, and other types of financial advice. Financial services was my fourth career after quitting medicine, and I went into it when I was 42, fully informed, or so I thought. And I lasted for just 1 year. When I was doing research before going into financial services, I knew that less than 12% of financial advisors in the UK are female, and that really appealed to me to be one of them, especially that I had a bigger vision to contribute to increasing the financial literacy level across women, because women tend to take a step back when it comes to finances, when they assume caregiver roles, and many women assume that their husbands or partners should be dealing with money. I felt that had to change, and I wanted to be the agent of change by equipping myself with that knowledge and experience first, and then sharing it with other women in the future. I also wanted to, in the future, create some kind of an app or another resource to help families empower and educate their children better about finances, so that children grow into young adults who are well equipped with financial knowledge for the adulthood that they're about to begin. So I had all the right reasons, I thought, to go into financial services. I had researched it. I spoke to many recruiters to understand better the entry points, the salaries, career progressions. I networked with lots of current financial advisors, and I asked lots of questions about whether you need to be really technical, whether you need to be really good with maths, because I'm neither. And I was assured that this is not the case, especially that financial advisors require more of interpersonal skills, communication skills. Of course, they need to have the background knowledge, but it's more about creating relationships and connections. I was changing from a career in executive search, so executive recruitment, into financial services without any background in finances or economics. And the agreement with the company that was taking me on was that for at least a year I would be working in the admin and paraplanning team, learning the ropes, understanding terminology, acronyms, how the company works, how the sector works, how everything works. And I was quite happy with that plan. I started in the admin team, and this continued for about 3 months, and I was very happy with that role. Of course, this sector is highly regulated, so everything has to be absolutely correct and absolutely right at every step, and the admin team ensures that. So I quite like that particular role. And then 3 months into my role in the admin team, one of the senior paraplanners resigned, and they didn't really have anyone to step into that role, so the role was offered to me. And of course, I'm so enthusiastic, and I was like, yay, I can do this. I basically ended up in this paraplanner role, which is a highly technical role, and I struggled from day one up to the very end. The last day in the company, I struggled and I cried every day. Before I go further with my story, let me tell you a little bit more about what paraplanning is and what those exams are that are required to become a financial advisor in the UK. Paraplanners work very closely with the admin team and with the advisors, and they do a lot of work behind the scenes in a very technical role. So basically they do all the legwork so that the advisors can focus more on seeing clients and generate new business. Paraplanners are typically involved in research, so they gather information about different financial products such as pensions, investments, compare them, and they find the best options for the client. They also write reports, and they put together quite complex reports with very complex information in an easy to understand way for the clients, to make sure that the financial advice being given to any given client is absolutely correct and clear. They support the financial advisor and assist financial advisors in making sure that everything runs smoothly. This is not from the point of view of scheduling, because that's more of an admin role, but more to do with putting together all the reports and all the paperwork required for a particular meeting, taking notes, and then producing very complex reports and summaries after the meetings, basically just facilitating a smooth journey for the client. Paraplanners also have a very critical role in ensuring compliance, and they have to make sure that everything is done correctly according to rules and regulation, and making sure that everything is within the law. Now, in terms of routes into financial planning, in the UK there are 3 qualifications that you can obtain to be on course to become a financial advisor, and that was very much the plan for me, to do one of those qualifications while working as a paraplanner, and then I would become a trainee financial advisor. That would be kind of a separate path. Paraplanning actually can be a lifelong career in its own right, especially for people who are more technical and who don't mind not seeing clients directly. Whereas being a financial advisor is more about generating the sales, bringing in the clients, and serving those clients by giving advice and ensuring that the client is in the best financial position. Financial advisors work in collaboration with accountants, but these are 2 different roles. So to become a financial advisor in the UK, you could either do a level 4 diploma in regulated financial planning provided by the Chartered Insurance Institute, which is what I was doing, and 2 other routes are LIBF Diploma in Financial Advice, DIP-FA, and this is offered by the London Institute of Banking and Finance. It is very credible, but somehow I got the impression that it's less valued than the CII level 4 diploma in regulated financial planning, which is why I didn't go with this particular diploma, DIP-FA. And the third option is CISI diploma in investment advice, DIP-IA. And this is offered by the Chartered Institute for Securities and Investment. This diploma is a recognized diploma for somebody who wants to become a financial advisor with a high focus on investments. So once you acquire one of these level 4 diplomas, you can either continue in the paraplanning role and become a senior paraplanner and continue refining your technical skills, or you can progress to become a junior financial planner, which was the route that was outlined for me. If I pass 6 exams, so 6 modules, level 4 diploma in regulated financial planning, and the time frame that I was given was 12 months. So what happened in my case? As I mentioned, for the first 3 months I was in the admin team doing quite process-driven work, scheduling appointments, checking reports, and also studying for my exams. And in that time I passed the first module of the 6 modules towards the diploma, so I was very happy. After 3 months, one of the senior paraplanners resigned and I stepped into his role, and that was probably the beginning of the end from then on. I found it really hard to juggle a full-time job in an industry that was unfamiliar to me, juggling that with being a single mom with a child under 8, and also trying to study for exams with a timeline, with a defined time frame, and feeling like I'm falling behind day after day, week after week. By 6 months, I was pretty sure that this is not right for me, but I wanted to keep going because everybody is uncomfortable in a new role. So I thought, okay, I'm going to embrace this. While studying, I explored lots of techniques and methods to keep myself motivated, and I actually created a video about that, which I will post here. And the video is about studying in your 40s. It sucks. Not my video, but studying in your 40s sucks. 6 exams for my diploma in regulated financial planning. This was the exam that I did pass. I still have 5 to go. Frankly, I just feel like giving up, to be honest. So I need this motivation that it is doable, and maybe somebody else will need to hear this and motivate themselves for studying in your 40s with a full-time job, and maybe also parenting responsibilities, which makes it doubly hard. But by about 6 months, I knew deep in my heart, probably even earlier, that this is not going to be working out well for me. But of course, it's very hard to admit to myself that I've invested so much and I've changed so radically from recruitment to go into financial services. My company has faith and believe in me, and I don't want to be letting people down, right? At the same time, at the back of my mind, I was thinking, what else would I do instead? I don't really want to go back into recruitment. So I kind of felt like my hands were tied and I had to just persevere. But the exams that I was studying for, I kind of lost focus. So rather than studying towards one exam, I started purchasing materials for different modules in the hope that another module would somehow be easier. And then I would jump from one to another. I would attend courses to try and pump up my motivation and my knowledge, but it just wasn't working out. And I kept blaming myself for being so lightweight on studying, because, you know, I did achieve a medical degree from the University of Cambridge, so surely these cannot be harder, but just something wasn't right. In my day-to-day work, it was obvious that things were not right. I was not independent. I could not do many cases on my own. I kept asking for, can you help me, please? Can you help me? And that felt demoralizing, that I was asking 20-year-olds, and paraplanners tend to be quite young because they're straight out of college or university. And here was me in my 40s constantly bugging 20-year-olds for help. They were very helpful and they were very nice, but I constantly felt that I'm just so out of place. Besides that, younger paraplanners were whizzing through the studies and passing exams every 2 to 3 months, and I was looking at them thinking, how are they doing this? But of course we know how they were doing that. They didn't have children, none of them had children, and they had all their evenings and weekends to themselves. They were not a single mom who had to juggle full-time work in an unfamiliar sector with studying and with taking care of the child. I know it's not an excuse, but actually it is pretty hard to be juggling all that. And I was constantly conscious that I'm falling more and more behind with the time frame, because I was supposed to be taking exams every 3 months so that I complete all 6 modules in 12, maximum 18 months. On top of that, the company decided to introduce KPIs, key performance indicators, also for the paraplanning team, not just the financial advisors. So financial advisors have KPIs, which basically is a sales target. Of course, paraplanners don't sell services, but the KPIs would be based on the number of cases and the kind of amount of activity that you have. And those KPIs were then displayed on a big screen in the office, and that was just so scary and so upsetting for me that I used to be stressed all the time. About a month before my annual appraisal, I decided it's time to resign and do it kind of gracefully on my own initiative before the company lets me go. Also, I was worried that even if I passed all my exams and even if I did become a financial advisor, I would not be able to keep up with the sales targets. And sales targets determine your incomes. So having said all that, A career in financial advice can be very good and quite lucrative if you can stomach passing 6 modules in 12 to 18 months. Well, actually, you probably wouldn't even have that particular target. If you're studying by yourself, you're not a part of a financial service company and you don't have that agreement, you could actually take your time. I think each module has a deadline by which you have to take it and pass, but otherwise it's all self-study, and once you're ready, you schedule that exam and you take it. If you don't pass it, you schedule to take it again. So the deadlines can be determined by you. In my case, the deadlines were determined for me. So if you can stomach that, and if you don't mind sales and KPIs, becoming a financial planner can be a really good opportunity to generate 6-figure incomes, as well as to empower the public through financial literacy, or even become a paraplanner. You could then set up on your own and provide services to different financial advice companies. They're always on the lookout for good paraplanners. A career both as a financial advisor as well as a paraplanner can give you a lot of flexibility and an opportunity to work from home, especially if you set up on your own. And the best part is you do not have to have a background in finances or economics. It helps, but you really don't have to have it. If you can figure out basics in maths and Excel spreadsheets, you should be absolutely fine. In fact, I have come across quite a few financial advisors who did not have any university education. They came out after school or after college, maybe worked in various roles, and then pursued one of those diplomas to become a financial advisor. So it is absolutely doable. It just wasn't doable for me. So I quit about 3 to 4 months ago, and since then I have been working on developing a consultancy for doctors where I help doctors elevate their online presence and digital influence. It's a journey, and it is quite scary to be self-employed and not to have any income coming in for the 4th month and to be relying solely on savings. I do have a runway of savings to last me for a few more months, but I really need to figure this out soon. Thank you for listening. If you have any questions or if you would like to share stories of career change, drop me a message. I would love to hear from you, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.